Ebenezer, do you mind doing the Pledge of Allegiance for us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. I would like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All right. If you are in favor of approving the agenda as is, please raise your hand. All right, it's unanimous. Thanks. All right, so we will now move on to awards and recognitions and turn it over to Dr. Battle.
Are we good? Okay. Thank you so much, Chair Elrod, and good evening, board members. Tonight, we get the chance to celebrate a school that has earned one of the highest honors possible in American public education. Earlier this month, Glendale Elementary School was named a National Blue Ribbon School by U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona. This is a prestigious award given annually since 1982 to a select number of schools showing exemplary high performance or success in closing achievement gaps. There are only 297 Blue Ribbon schools across the country this year, and Glendale is one of just 6 in the state of Tennessee. This is Glendale's second time to be named an exemplary high-performing school, having previously earned this distinction in 2016. At this time, I would like to invite up, ask Principal Collins to come on up to the front here. There she is. And team, y'all come on up. Yes, welcome, Glendale. Woo-hoo. Take a picture in just a moment, but if y'all will do me the pleasure, because I want those people out there, all of our teammates, to see you all as I brag on you a little while longer. Now, you probably remember seeing Principal Collins just a couple weeks ago, because about 2 weeks ago, we recognized Glendale and this fabulous team with 47 other MNPS reward schools, which are the top performing schools in the state. So let's give them another round of applause. So this has been a very good month for Glendale, and that's because Glendale has a lot of good months, which is not surprising to anyone who has been there. So if you haven't been to Glendale yet, then I encourage you to run, not walk, not just check it out. Not only is it full of excited students and excellent teachers and colorful art and staff, but it's also an innovative Spanish immersion school. Glendale opened in 2004 with the idea that learning another language is a critical building block for our next generation of leaders. The curriculum for reading and language arts, as well as social studies, is taught in English at Glendale, while Spanish is taught through math and science. So Principal Collins and fabulous team that's represented here, and those who are not, along with the students, parents, and community partners, you all should be extremely proud of the national honor, this specific national honor, and we're extremely proud of you for everything you do for our students. You've earned it, you deserve it. Recognition as a National Blue Ribbon School reflects a tremendous team effort to make sure every student is known, to give every child a chance to succeed, and to achieve strong outcomes for all. So again, congratulations to you, Team Glendale, and we would love to celebrate you and take a quick picture. Take a quick picture of it.
Yes, line up.
I said, Aaron, you'll pick it up.
You guys know our pictures now. Yeah. I know.
It's okay, Elena and I are just gonna have our own little thing going on.
Very good. Have your own caucus.
Thank you so much to Glendale for being here. We are so happy and excited for you. So thank you for allowing us to celebrate you and celebrate with you. Thanks. All right, our next part is our director's report, which will also be from Dr. Battle about attendance-focused outcomes and an update on that.
All right, thank you again, Chair Elrod, board members. Just a quick note and update around COVID-19. We actually hit our lowest case counts for the year last week with 39 students testing positive and 13 staff members throughout the district. And so, again, just providing a quick update around where we are in response to our COVID response. Now, before I jump into our focused outcome update for today around chronic absenteeism, I want to provide a brief HR update. First, I would like to acknowledge the hard work of our entire team who's worked tirelessly to process thousands of transactions over the last weeks and months, including payroll and new hires, background checks, onboarding, transfers, you name it. Our HR team touches it and supports all of our employees and our contractors. They've worked long days, nights, and weekends to process information as quickly as possible with the understanding of service to our students and supporting all of our employees. As an update, our HR team has checked the new hires report, and there are no candidates remaining in Taleo with hire dates before September 9th. There are currently 47 pending background checks, a very normal number at this time of year. Our background check vendor is headquartered in Tampa, Florida, and our thoughts are with them during this time as the hurricane approaches. But our system itself is cloud-based, and there are staff in other parts of the country who are continuing to work with us and process our information. Our team has 3 new hires and 3 transfers from this pay period that were received as payroll closed last week that still need to be finalized. We also have 5 work schedule changes just received, as well as a short list from our exceptional education department with some work schedule FTE changes still to be completed. So a work schedule change, just to be clear, or an FTE change will result in a salary difference, and so our team will be processing those as our system opens back up. We do have more than 130 degree advancements that we've received, a celebration for our staff during the months of July and August. They've all been processed by our HR team, and those salary changes will appear on their checks this Friday. There are about 20 received in the last 2 weeks, and they will be processed for the next payroll cycle. We have an update that more than 9,000 salary roll retroactive payments are on today's payroll run for Friday's compensation. So again, lots of hard work and input on behalf of our team, and excited that those retroactive payments will be a part of our upcoming compensation on Friday. And lastly, all individually known questions and concerns have been acknowledged and either have been addressed or in queue to be completed when we reopen our payroll system from our lockout as we process payroll today. So lots of good updates for everyone, and acknowledgement of any inquiries that the HR team has received to date. Now, I want to take a moment, as always, to ground us in our focus and our vision here in Metro Nashville Public Schools. We are grounded in our core tenets, and we try to provide this grounding with every update we provide to the board and to the public. So those core tenets, those 4 core tenets are with us, and we're continuing to deepen our practices around the core tenets as we move forward. As always, we next move into our focused outcomes. We're extremely clear around the goals and objectives that we've set for all of our MNPS students, regardless of their grade level, the school that they attend. We have individual goals for every MNPS student around literacy, numeracy, social emotional learning, and transitions. In fact, we've outlined those focused outcomes into what we refer to as our one-pagers for the various grade bands, pre-K through 4, grade 5, grades 6 through 8, 9 and 10, and also 11th and 12th grade. And I'm going to flip back because my update today is around attendance. You will notice that in every grade band, we have an expectation around attendance for all of our students. So that is a part of our social emotional learning work with our students, and we understand that students must be in school, and it's correlated to their academic outcomes and their growth as well. Surrounding those core tenets, focused outcomes, are our signature initiatives, which we will continue to deepen our practice around, moving the needle for all of our MNPS students, which is really grounded in the way in which our support hub rallies around, partners with our schools to realize the outcomes for every student every year. So again, a school is successful when students are attending regularly and performing academically at high levels. So we don't deal with those two things in isolation. There are no separating those two. So we know that we want to encourage our students to be in attendance at school so that we can meet very high expectations. In fact, our goal is to meet or exceed those goals yearly. So to ground us in this conversation, let's talk a little bit about the definitions around attendance. So there's lots of moving parts here in the way that we track student attendance, particularly around what we would consider leading and lagging indicators of success for students. So chronically absent. A chronically absent student is absent more than 10% of the school year. So for an entire school year, 180 days, 18%, whether that's excused or unexcused. Satisfactory attendance is when a student attends more than 95% of the school year. So again, if you were to look back at our focus outcomes, that goal is for 95% or more attendance for every MNPS student. A truant student is a student who's absent or unexcused absent for 5 school days or more during the school year. Average daily attendance, or ADA, is a percentage of students present, not absent, so they're physically in school, in a specific school or district-wide on any day or group of days. And then there's average daily membership, or ADM, the number of students enrolled in the school or district-wide on any day or group of days as well. So depending on the data set will depend on the type of data you're looking at around attendance. So I wanted to take a moment and briefly highlight our chronic absence data for the 21-22 school year. We can see exactly who students are, or who these students are when they're absent by looking either at their chronically absent student file in our accountability Power BI or in our attendance dashboard in the data warehouse. We can simply click on the number of students in a school or in a district to see who is chronically absent last year. And this is last year's, and this is our direct list of the number of students. Again, this represents students who missed more than 10% of the school year. So last year we had 30.2% of students who were chronically absent, and we had an average daily attendance of 91.9% last school year. So you can see that number broken down by grade, and how many were repeat chronically absent students year over year. Now, you also might remember this slide. 2 weeks ago, Dr. Changus and Dr. Christine or Tina Stinson presented our updated state accountability data from the district. And I spent some time over the last few weeks, and specifically with my cabinet, executive leadership team, and with principals, digging into the attendance data. And one thing that we're owning and that we recognize we need to be responsive to is chronically out of school students. students. According to the accountability heat map, we received zero points for moving the needle around chronic absenteeism. Now, there's lots of context to this conversation because we know the type of year we also had last year. So we are acknowledging that, but also acknowledging the fact that we were still not at 0% before the pandemic as well. So there are things that we know work well for our students that we will continue to double down on. We're also considering additional high-leverage strategies that will help us move the needle in this space. And we did some calculations, and we know exactly where we need to be as we're moving forward. So you might be asking, what is our focus outcome? Our goal is that students achieve satisfactory attendance with an attendance rate of 95% or above. This will help us meet or exceed our goal. So we are looking to increase our average daily attendance from 91 to 92%. And yes, that is significant to move that percentage point with your daily attendance. And then to reduce our chronic absenteeism by 5 percentage points down to 25% from 30%. And so we have kind of our yearly goals, and we also know where we want to be 5 years from now with our chronic absenteeism. So we are going to keep chipping away at it until we can get where we want to be with chronic absenteeism for our students. So we've been meeting and we've been collaborating and we've been sharing across schools and across departments what works best. And we have a fabulous attendance team who is well-versed in this space, who've lent their expertise to what's next for our district. So we now have created, on top of the strategies we already had in place, we've created and coordinated an attendance advisory group right now made up of principal leaders across our district so that we can learn from our schools who have significantly reduced their chronic absenteeism or been able to maintain a small percentage of chronically absent students in their buildings. And so that team has already convened this school year, and myself and all the principals and other leaders are excited to continue to learn from them. We're also coordinating our professional development and providing timely support. So I'm very thankful to Dr. Michelle Springer and her team for being extremely responsive to schools with regards to professional development requests, with regards to supports based upon what they're seeing in our student needs, and definitely providing the supports needed for students and families who need them to ensure their students attend school regularly. So you might be wondering, what are some of our district-wide supports? How do we intervene as we're tracking this data? So there are some very specific strategies we implement across all schools. We provide care calls when we have the initial absences for our students. Once they get beyond 4 absences, we do create an attendance assessment, and we do submit collaborative referrals. These attendance assessments are created in a very collaborative space because we want to make sure the student and the family is a part of that so we can uncover what's keeping our students from being in school. And the collaborative referrals, again, is to be responsive to that need. So if there's a housing need, if there's a food need, if there's a medical need, however we can support, we want to make sure that we're doing that so students are in school. At the 7 to 9 day absence rate, we do create an attendance plan with accountability and supports across the board for students, again, to increase their presence in school. And then at the 10-day mark, we do submit truancy petitions to the court. Now, I share this to share that if you get to the 10-day mark, there have been lots of interventions along the way. And this doesn't represent just one at each level. So with those care calls, you might see in a student's record that we've reached out several times. We might have even had a social worker go by the home. We want to connect and know exactly where our students are at this point. But these are steps that are required for each of our schools based upon their students who are absent based upon the number of days that are represented. We have kicked off our MNPS attendance campaign, which is titled Attendance Matters All Day, Every Day. So September is Attendance Awareness Month, so it's not too late. We still have a few more days left in September. If you've not plugged in, if you've not encouraged one of our students to make sure that they're present and on time to school, please do so. We're encouraging our students and our families in every way. This gives us an opportunity to amplify the importance of attendance, to re-communicate expectations at the district and at the school level, and that we're providing school supports to our students and families and increasing student engagement and meeting our focused outcome around attendance. So we're having a very specific conversation with our expectations for our students. So it's all about messaging, it's all about monitoring, it's about motivating our students, hence our Every Student Know, because we want to know our students to know what engages them and removing barriers to their attendance. And then, of course, academics plus attendance equals our whole system improvement. So we need to learn more about what barriers and challenges to attendance that exist for our MNPS students and families. We need to reengage students who were chronically absent from last year, both for accountability and to interrupt the pattern, because not only does chronic absenteeism present academic challenges for students within that year, it also has a negative impact on the district's cumulative data and the long-term outcomes for that student. We need to monitor our data closely so that we can make data-driven decisions for our school communities and ensure the data is clean and accurate. We are doubling down on that as well. We want to make sure that we have clean and accurate attendance coding so that it better reflects the presence of our students. We need to connect with community partners to learn more about how they can support our attendance efforts. This is something that I've reinforced to our principal leaders. This is not just a school issue. We need our community to recognize and encourage and motivate our students to be in school as well. We need to continue to share best practices with each other and reach out to our colleagues who have found success in this area. Hence, our advisory group and committee will continue to learn from and allow them to lead in this space. And we need to ensure our policies and procedures are aligned to support both schools and students in being successful in reducing chronic absenteeism and truancy. This is some work that my team and I have consistently focused around, and again, doubling down again based upon where we are as we move throughout this school year. And then lastly, for several years now, the district has, revised and updated our conversation and our policies around what constitutes late or tardiness and being absent. So we're digging into that and re-communicating that back to our schools as needed. And so with that, Madam Chair and board members, I will conclude my update for this evening and turn it back over to you, Ms. Elrod.
Thank you. All right, we will open it for discussion. So hold on one second. Let me get my first list of hands. Dr. Gentry, you'll start us.
So thank you for the report. This is a thing that has always just fascinated me. Like I guess I don't really, if I say I don't get it, I'll lie, but we'll get to that in a second. I do have a couple questions. Can we go back to the slide on after the attendance definitions, the data that showed chronic absence data for school year 21, 22, I think it's
Yes.
11. Yeah, that one right there. Can you just help with some definitions for me? So we've got P3, let's just start with P3. 319 chronically absent students or 319 days absent. What we got here? What is this exactly?
So you start with P3, and I do want to point out there's no attendance requirement for our pre-K students, but those are your 3-year-olds in our pre-K classrooms. You have first the number of students who were chronically absent.
Okay.
Beside that is the percent of students of the total number of P3 students, and then
Less than 1%.
less than
not
1%.
zero. Okay.
That's correct. And then on the repeater side, you have have the number of students. Sometimes we have pre-K students for multiple years, given when they turn 3 versus when they turn 4, so on and so forth, and then the percentage of those students who are repeaters 1 year over the other. So we do take attendance for our youngest students. However, it is not reflected in our accountability.
Okay, yes, thank you for that. It was really more about the columns, not necessarily that it was
Yes.
row P3. So it's possible that a student that's represented in the 1,149 as a third grade has shown up in the second grade, first grade, and kindergarten data, is what we're saying. So it's repeaters, not linearly, but really systemically.
That's correct.
Okay, important to note. All right, wow, okay.
So, and to your point, I mean, these are conversations we're having. We have to unpack and drill down to the individual student level, because what we need to understand is, was last year your chronically absent year for the first time, and what was the factors that contributed to that? Or are we talking about kind of some historical data that, you're in the 7th grade now, but every year
Right.
we've had a concern around chronically absence?
So are we able to cull out of this universe those students that would be considered unhoused?
Out of this particular data,
This universe of data here, the students that would be considered unhoused?
you want to respond, and then I can.
Well, yes. So the process would go back to those steps that Dr. Battle outlined, to include the attendance assessment. Once we identify those students who are chronically absent, we do an attendance assessment. And part of that is asking the question about what is going on, what's happening around the familial needs, health needs, behavioral needs, so that we can better get an understanding. So to answer your question, yes, through the attendance assessment, we will know specifically what's going on with each student.
Couple more things, and I apologize, Ms. Elrod. As a chronically absent student myself, this is just fascinating to me. That's all I'm going to say about that. So had the planning meeting for Education Day, and you left me hanging on that one. I had to fight. It was a big, big fight.
We'll talk more.
So, there was this language used in that conversation that was very disturbing, right? Comments, and this isn't the only arena in which this has been made, that, we already have a challenge with our 180-day school year with time on task, right? Our outcomes in this country, we haven't talked about Davidson County, our outcomes in this country tells us that our traditional school year is not enough time on task. And so I would just be interested to see more at some point in time. I think it's just something you can email to us as board members, how we can support this campaign, how we can engage others in it. Because my last question is, where does this data go? I heard you say you encourage principals to engage partners, but as a district, as Dr. Battle, who are you sharing this data, not just these numbers, but when you do the deeper dive of, is it transportation? Is it food? Is it clothing? Because as a chronically absent child, those are the real issues that contribute to a student not wanting to be in school, especially as they get older, not wanting to be in school, or there is an inability to get that child to school. So who are we having conversations with to address those tangible contributors to chronic absenteeism?
Yeah, I'm going to let Dr. Springer talk about specifics, but with all of our partners, and whether they be direct service, talent time partners, or convening partners, we're having this conversation around the response from those partners meeting the needs of our district. Just recently, as of last week, as we've been talking about this data, we had a conversation with Alum in Nashville, who's convening partners and other leaders across the city to be responsive specifically around chronic absenteeism. And we're being very honest about what our data is currently telling us. But Dr. Springer and her team convenes partners across the city. I believe it's on a quarterly basis around what we're seeing in our data, what our needs are, and how they can be responsive to the needs of our students, given the multiple factors that play a role in a student being chronically absent.
Yes, and just to double down on what you shared about convening our partners, during our last partner symposium, it was absolutely elevated that attendance is our focus, and it is a need, and it is a citywide need that we need to move the needle around. And then even at the school level, we talk about partners at the school level. We have community achieved structure that is in place for specifically times such as these, community and schools. So there are structures that are in place at the school, and we're elevating this message across those partners that touch our schools each and every day.
And in very specific ways. I mean, as we're hearing concerns around housing, as we're hearing concerns about, other basic needs, we're sharing that data back with our partners so that they can be responsive. In fact, we've asked them to take a pause in some spaces to help us respond in this space around chronic absenteeism. And that is something that we are kind of stepping back and reestablishing with our partners as we move forward, because it doesn't help us to keep just doing stuff. We have to be very targeted, we have to be very coordinated, and we have to streamline our supports to make sure we're getting at the very needs that are represented in such data.
And last question, Ms. Elra, if you don't mind. At some point, even if it's just an email to the board, I'd love to see what we're finding. So what are we finding are the things that are contributing to chronic absenteeism?
Certainly.
Especially post-COVID,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because I know a lot of that is parents just can't, right?
Yeah.
Can't want to, I just can't.
And the great news is that we have it, and we can share that information back to this board.
Thank you. Dr. Adama McKinney?
Thank you so much, and thank you for the questions, Dr. Gentry. I have a follow-up question from Dr. Gentry. The repeaters that we are tracking, how many years are we tracking this data that you have?
From point of
Over
entry.
How many years?
From point of entry into Metro Nashville Public Schools.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And then does this number, is there a way, because we know that families have students in elementary, middle, and high school, is there a way to narrow that down to specific families and how we can support families as a unit to be able to do so as well? And
Yes.
have we been doing any of that work?
Yes, we have been identifying students in that manner. In fact, Dr. Springer and her team will be convening schools within the same cluster who typically have students in various tiers so that we can have family conversations and provide family supports. And so that level of conversation and planning is happening. I will say, given the disruptions caused by the pandemic and for us, for the tornado, we're experiencing a few different things than we have in the past. And so while we don't have an answer to every individual response, we are convening this team to make sure that we begin to fill some of those gaps of some of the new trends that we are seeing. But absolutely, we're looking at it as individual students. We're looking at it in families. We're planning as clusters to make sure we have those family supports in place.
Okay, and thank you so much, Dr. Battle. And then to follow up with that question, there has been some concern about, if we could go back to, let me find the slide really quick. Slide number 14. Right. So with this particular slide, it kind of lays out how we are providing intervention and support for students and then reporting for truancy. However, there has been some concern, especially among the cluster and with families that have children in both elementary, middle, and high school, when that reporting takes place. One school may report it on day 7, another school may report on day 8, day 9, and it causes some confusion even within the families on how that truancy petition is sent. Is there anything that we can do to provide that level of consistency, especially within the cluster of schools where families are sharing the same, or schools are sharing the same families, to be able to provide that level of consistency and support in that way to address or to mitigate truancy or attendance?
Clarifying question, are you speaking specifically around the truancy petition or all of the steps leading up to the truancy petition?
primarily, the truancy petition is when they're sent to court, right?
Yeah, so that doesn't happen until after 10 days.
correct.
Now, and let's just have a real conversation. If you're, in some situations, when you're up to 10 days, day 11, 12, 13, it happens very quickly when you're in the process of filing a petition. So you might have variation there, but after the 10th day, that's when the truancy petition, not before, that can the petition go in.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Okay. Ms. Tyler?
Thank you. Yeah, if we could go back to the human resources update on slide 2. You had said that we have 9,000 active payroll retroactive payments coming on the checks this Friday. Are these the teachers who were coded wrong when they transferred, and this is the fixing their problem, or is this the raises, or have the raises already started to be seen in their paychecks overall?
All right. Lisa Spencer, Chief of Human Resources.
So the raises, the actual salary roll raises were seen on the 9/16 paycheck. What's happening for 9/30 will be the retroactive payments for those raises back to July 1, degree changes and other retroactive changes. Everything that we know about that needs to be paid should be picked up on this payroll.
Okay, so every teacher every employee who was who received a step raise should be seeing from before September, from July to September, should be seeing that change in the September 30th.
Yes, those people who were on the payroll in July and eligible for pay from July to August are going to be seeing that retroactive pay.
Okay. And, okay, then I asked that. All right. I just wanted to kind of clarify that. And it sounds like you guys have kind of fixed some of the other bugs that had been frustrating to both you and the teachers themselves. So hopefully that's something. Have we figured out why some of those things happen, and have we put some safeguard in place to make sure that next year we're not going to experience the same issues?
So we know that some of the issues that we encountered this summer are systemic. They have literally have to do with the system. We are meeting with our general government partners on a biweekly basis right now, trying to look through the data, look at the logs, understand what happened, look to process improvements. We're also doing process improvement within the department to say, what's a better way to do this? How do we get better information? How do we get it faster? How do we make sure it's accurate?
Okay, great. I would love to be kept abreast of how that's going if we end up having an actual plan because we're able to pinpoint what went wrong. If we know exactly what it is and we have a plan to fix it, I would love to know about that just so that I can stay on top of making sure that we're not going to have the similar problems next year. I understand that there's always going to be some movement at the beginning of the school year, and there are always going to be some accidents or some problems or some issues with background check, whatever. But the level that they've been at this year has been a little bit, it's just been unacceptable. So
Well, and you will have some, at the start of the year based upon timing. And again, a very proud moment that we had such significant changes in compensation that it takes a lot to literally touch every employee to make sure that's reflected. But the team, again, in service to our students and support of our employees, understands the importance of us being proactive as much as possible to mitigate some of the technical issues that we have experienced this year, have experienced in the past, but we're going to do our best to mitigate them moving forward.
Right. I just know that our teachers who experienced the issues this year would love to have reassurance that this is not going to happen again next year. It's been very hard on
It's a
large
system.
percentage.
It's a system, and of course, our system is tied to Metro government, so it's very hard for us to give 100% assurance because of that. But are we going to proactively plan around it? Absolutely. We're going to do that. And the challenge this year is a challenge we have not experienced as a district with such significant pay raises and movement for every MNPS employee all at the same time. In fact, I remember receiving a communication from our I don't know if he was Metro government or if he was with us, our 12 system, who said, like, the first thing is, like, how do we get a budget, like, way far in advance than this so that we can get in and build this formula out, which is not going to happen. That's just not the way that our system works. And so part of our response was, we're proud, we're excited about the investments. We're going to figure it out this year and as we're moving forward to make sure that that's not a limitation to our ability to compensate our employees at a fair level.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure that our teachers are very appreciative to know that, and all of our employees, that that is something that we are really paying attention to make sure
Absolutely.
that we can not have the same issues. So moving into the attendance questions, I had a question about the attendance definitions on the 10th slide. The average daily membership, the one that is how many kids are in each school. I know that, how frequently is that captured? I know we've got like our 20-day count, we've got.
Let me invite Chris Henson, our Chief Financial Officer, to the podium. Dr. Springer, stay close, just in case.
Sure thing.
That is captured and submitted to the State Department of Education each month. And so there are 9 20-day reporting periods, which make up the 180 days of school that are reported to the state each month.
And do those reports change? Let's say a student transfers from one school to another school. Does that mean that the rest of the money for that student transfers to the school that they go to?
Say the rest of the money.
So I know that we don't get a lump sum of, you have this many kids in your schools enrolled, so here's all the money for them for the whole year. Like, I know that it comes in payments. So when we have our payments and we're divvying them out to the schools based on how many students are in each school, at a certain point, we inevitably have, just because of the nature of a lot of the students that we serve and the size of our district, we have a lot of people moving in and out from different places, and I just want to ensure that if we have a group of students that's moving to a new school, that school has the money to properly educate them for the rest of the year that they have them.
Sure. State funding is based on prior year enrollment. As far as our own internal process with student-based budgeting, we use projected enrollment initially for our schools, and then we look at enrollment once it comes in as the school year begins, and then look at that 20-day enrollment to make any changes that need to be made, continuing to look at ADM for the 40th day as well as on into the first semester. Re-looking at it again as the second semester begins, and if there are any significant changes in the ADM or in the enrollment for individual schools, then we very well may need to have some kind of amendment to their funding allocation. But usually once we get past the 20-day period, there's movement in and out of schools, and unless we see some big change, there's typically not a lot of change in the funding amount that schools have because they've already planned and budgeted for the allocation that they received.
So it sounds like we track this information, even if it doesn't, we just, because we have to send it to the state every month or every 9 reporting periods. I would love to get a report of, I know that we've heard things in the past about a lot of shuffling around of students right before our TCAP tests. And so is there a possibility for us to see, pull that data to see, do we have a large group of students moving from one school to another school right before this test is being given? Is there any way for us to track that?
We can look at ADM reports looking at the month before TCAP and then, the month of TCAP to see if there are any, big changes that occur. I have not heard of any at this point, but that's something we can provide.
And would that include charter schools as well?
Yes, charter schools submit their information along with what we present to the Tennessee Department of Education. So they're included in the data that we submit to TDOE. So we would have all of that.
We have access to that.
We would have all of that.
Okay.
We would not have access to any student that may be in the Achievement School District or the Public Charter Commission, since those are separate districts.
Okay. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I would love to see, do we have, I think that's an important point for several reasons.
Are you, would you like to see this past year or for this upcoming year you would like to?
I feel like this past year's been kind of an outlier, so.
So just moving
maybe
forward.
Moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
then if we are looking at slide 14, again, that each step of how we address our interventions to help our students and families who are struggling with attendance. Are all of these only unexcused absences?
Excused and unexcused.
So do we have any guidance from the state or somebody about what to do when a student has a verified COVID quarantine that takes up half their days? If they get COVID twice, they're truant. And then that doesn't give them any other sick days for the rest of the year. How do we have any guidance from the state on that?
The guidance has been that well, let me re-enter. The guidance that we did have has sunset, the allowability that was made available to us in the past. So there is not any additional guidance, I'm looking at Justin as well, to address COVID response with students being arguably excused absence for them being under the weather. Justin?
Yeah, I was going to say that's correct. I think it was previously a state board rule that was through 2020, 21, I believe, that provided that unexcused absences could be coded as excused during COVID, but that has not been updated since then or reenacted since then.
Well, my concern is that it doesn't matter if it's excused or unexcused. According, right? It doesn't matter. These are counted whether they're excused or not.
Let me clarify. For truancy, it is for unexcused only.
Okay,
So for
that's what I thought. I
the
just
rest
wanted to
of,
double
like,
check.
progressing through, we are looking at students who are excused or unexcused for any reason to make sure we're uncovering any needs. But for truancy, we are moving towards the step of petition, then it is unexcused.
Only, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you for the
helpful.
point of
That's really
clarification,
helpful.
Dr. Springer.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Now, again, a plug to our community and families. We need communication when students are absent. If we're not notified of the reason in this particular place being testing positive for COVID, it will initially be marked as an unexcused absence. So we have to have communication, whether it be a parent note, doctor's note, based upon what is requested from the school. So the assumption is always going to be an unexcused absence unless we receive notification from the doctor or from the parent.
Just one more. Just on our chronic absence data, the chart of the distribution, how do we have a number of repeaters for P3?
And Phyllis is not here. David, I might need your response to this, but from my diving into the data, we could have, depending on when a child turns 3, they could be a repeater in our pre-K3 program.
Okay, so a student could have been pre-K P3, had a different
start as
birthday, and then do
right.
P3 again next year.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense.
So does that make, thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. O'Hara Block?
Thank you. So sticking with the attendance, in talking to some of the school counselors in the Hillsborough cluster and some other places, I've had some questions about sort of how this works, who's doing what. So can you talk just a little bit about what's the job at the school and what's the job at the support hub, and who's sort of taking which pieces of trying to manage and think through helping families with attendance issues?
Dr. Springer.
Yes, so these interventions are closest to the school. So the school is implementing these interventions. They know students best. As a support hub, we will come in fact, we're doing it tomorrow. We will come in and we will assist schools with completing care calls, attendance assessments, attendance plans. Whatever the need is, we will step in. But the initial contact, the initial initiation of these interventions are at the school level. What we know is that it takes all hands on deck. So it could be a counselor, it could be an attendance clerk, it can be multiple staff members within the building that are really leaning in, organizing, strategizing around attendance.
And that might be, like at a school that has Community Achieves or Communities in Schools or one of those types of things, that might be those folks that are in that role. Schools that don't have that, it's probably a school counselor who's also doing some of the coordination, or external to school, or is that school social worker? Like if you need to, for example, some of the things that Dr. Gentry was asking about, if you need to help a kid get other services, how's that connected? Do you all do that, or is that done at the school level?
Dr. Springer, can you respond to the attendance team at every school? I think that might address.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, pulling all of this together, there is an attendance team, and on that team is interdisciplinary. It goes across the different roles within the school to ensure that we have a view from different perspectives. So it will be, a community achieves member on that team. It could be an attendance clerk, it can be a counselor, a social worker, so that we have multiple perspectives, just really pulling in all of the needs regarding attendance. So we start with an attendance team. Every school has one, and they then assess, they monitor and track data, they review data as it relates to collaborative referrals. I want to enter in that process, because if you do have a student who is chronically absent, who is struggling with attendance or engagement, we will complete a collaborative referral as noted, and then that attendance team, that counselor, that social worker will then coordinate supports accordingly.
Yeah. You can imagine that this is, attendance matters is not just a schools issue, right? But is also like a community-wide issue, and you've talked about that a little bit, but I'm eager to see other partners help as you've talked about. What about the numbers are a little bit higher at the high school level, and I know you alluded, Dr. Gentry, to some of this, but are there specific strategies at the high school level that are different? And if those are better to share within an email back around some strategies, that's fine as well. Just curious.
Yeah, I'll start with what we know for sure is throughout the pandemic, our students worked. They took on responsibilities at the home that required them to step outside of just being a student. And so one of the strategies that Dr. Battle was very forward-thinking was work-based learning. How might we allow an opportunity for students to earn and learn at the same time? And so that's just one strategy that is available at the high school level. Also, through the attendance teams and the assessments, we're also working to find out what's the need. Is it housing? Do we have students who need childcare? And then we wrap around supports and services accordingly.
Yeah, I will say and we talked about this very early on because we were recognizing it through the conversations we were having with particularly our high school students, that tension between being at school, working and providing for themselves and for their families was a real struggle. And so that's where the work-based learning expansion really was born out of. And then I'm looking out and I see Allison MacArthur, who leads our Community Achieves, and in a previous role, because I had the pleasure of working with her as an academy coach. I mean, our academy coaches are part in lots of our schools of this attendance response team because of that model that is there to engage and bring relevance to the curriculum and their experiential learning activities for our students. And so it is a real all hands on deck approach. I mean, there is a core team that's usually moving it, but the reason that we've kept it close to our schools is because our schools know our students best, and while a support hub member can call, and we will support in any way we can, it is so powerful when you hear from your counselor, your teacher, the folks who can say, I saw you yesterday, I missed you today, right? And the value their voices bring and their participation and engagement brings to the classroom experience. And so we've learned some lessons through that because we've had variations of support with attendance across our district, but the power in having that community school leader reach out and connect and building those relationships with students really matter.
Yeah, and I know one of the things I heard from folks is just that the level of need has really increased in the last couple of years. I know you all have been talking about that for a while, but again, as important as it is for us to be doing things within the school, there's so much more that our kids need outside of the school as well. So thank you.
Mrs. Player?
And building on what Ms. O'Hara-Block said, I know one of the big issues that we had during COVID was parents feeling like one of the reasons for us to go back in school was because of the students' mental health. And is there, in the strategies for supporting, is there protocols along with our restorative justice and with the social workers and psychologists that we have done that helps assist with that, and parents know that my belief I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, is that we can't do everything in terms of mental health. We can find it, we can provide some supports, but some things are going to have to take more expert support. So is there a way in the attendance, if there's true depression or true anxiety, that we're help providing supports to identify, and maybe this is where the community partners come in, to really address those issues that are beyond the learning environment that have to take on a medical perspective that's outside of our realm of expertise?
Yeah. Two quick responses that you just jogged my thoughts around, then I'll kick it to Dr. Springer. Around the mental health space, this is one strategy that we have expanded in leveraging our ESSER funds and partnering with more of our mental health providers to provide those direct supports and services in our schools. In the past few years, we've been in a space where we have fewer and fewer of those partnerships in our schools, and so we've been bridging that gap, having those conversations, doing our asset mapping to get those providers back on our campuses. And so we have had some positive movement in that direction. I also don't want us to forget that we're also at a point in time where parents are making a decision around if it was safe for their students to return, and their level of safe is their definition for them to return to the in-person learning environment. And so without the judgment on a parent having to make a most informed decision, we try to support, clarify, create conditions for as much of a safe environment given the spread of COVID then for our students to return to the in-person learning environment. But this was in the 2021 school year, still a real conversation and consideration for our families. But Dr. Springer, if you want to add anything to the mental health provider expansion, please do.
Absolutely. Thinking about our partners, they've really stepped up in a major way to fill that gap and to ensure that we work towards at least one additional mental health service provider in every school. We are familiar with the Advocacy Center. They're in place to do just that and provide that mental health support as well. And peace centers as well. It's just someone that they can connect to, as well as our navigator. So I'm just thinking all of these supports come together to address our focus outcomes. So each of them play a role, and they have been beneficial in making sure that our students, as Dr. Battle said, the conditions are right for our kids and they're able to stay in school as well. One other thing I want to insert here, our school counselors, our social workers, they are trained in, recognizing those mental health needs. And, there are screeners that they complete, and there are safety plans. There are protocols that we need now more than ever. We're so thankful that those are in place and that our schools are well-versed and know when to implement and execute to ensure that mental health is top priority for our students.
Yeah, so we think about this kind of in tiered supports based upon the intensity of the need. And so that expansion is real on our campuses, but I must underscore just how thankful and grateful we are to our school counselors, to our social workers, to our psychologists, everyone who responds to the needs of our students and tries to disrupt or intervene on those students' behalf to get them what they need.
Thank you. On slide 13, talking about your strategies for the focused outcome, how much is the reducing the chronic absenteeism from 30% to 25% will help affect the daily attendance increase from 91 to 92%?
Dr. Springer.
Thinking about chronic absenteeism, if you've got a student who has missed 18 days, they are chronically absent for the year. Anytime we have an opportunity to reduce those numbers, they are in school more often. And so what you'll see is the chronic absenteeism most often. If it's high, or we reduce chronic absenteeism, of course, the average daily attendance will increase. There is certainly a correlation between the two, and we're paying close attention to it.
Yeah, and the significance of that, for years, as a system, as a state, we only tracked the average daily attendance. But when a student is absent, they're absent. There's not much you can do about that. And so as with research and digging into the data, understanding that you really can intervene with chronic absenteeism, right? Like you can move a student off a chronically absent list. You can move a student off of a daily attendance list because the day has already been missed. And so part of that indicator indicator shows us if we're making improvements with student attendance across the time. So a reduction in chronic absenteeism naturally also impacts your improvement in the daily attendance as well.
Okay. Going back to slide 11, so when I interpret this, I took it as like a snapshot for like a specific year. So are we saying, going back to Dr. Gentry's question, that if grade 1 has 664, and then when they go to grade 2 to 648, a certain percentage of those are repeat from grade 1 to grade 2 and not a specific snapshot for that specific grade for that specific year? Is that my question making sense? Because I didn't took it as it was the columns multiplied or added. You know, as you went down the column, I just took it as if you took the 21, 22 year and 200 people, well, that's this year. Okay. Well, last year, sorry, because we were in 22, 23, sorry. That we took that, that's only going to look for this year only, and they're repeat attenders. So as the 1,277 out of the 664 are repeat people out of the 1,277. So I guess, can you either break this down again so I understand it? Because I wasn't looking at it, it was repeat rependers going from grade to grade, that if they repeated in the first grade, if they're chronic in the first grade, that was also picked up in the second grade.
Certainly, a large percentage of the students that you're seeing are repeat year over year. What we also know is that what our goal is to move students out of this repeat category. So just because they've shown up 1 year doesn't mean that they'll automatically be a repeat, have chronic absenteeism needs the next year. So,
okay.
Yeah, the idea is for them to roll off each year. We want to chip away and make sure that they are not showing up on a list year over year.
And this is important data for us, right? When you're talking about how you intervene, a repeater from 19 to 20 into 2021 is a different conversation from a repeater from 2014 to 15, 15 to 16, 16. So that's why this important is important, and why we have the ability to drill down to see specifically where you intervene and how you intervene, how deeply rooted those factors might be around why our student has been chronically absent.
Okay. No, I think I got it. If not, I'll ask later.
Okay.
Offline.
Got it. All right, then we're going to have Dr. Naima McKinney, and then Elena, and then I'll ask my questions.
Since I've already asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elena, I'll let you go first.
Hi. Okay. First, just a quick one. What was the chronic absentee percentage prior to COVID? So 2019, 2020. What was that? If you know off the top of your head.
There were going to. I don't want to misrepresent. So prior to COVID, they were in the double digits, so around about 16%. And then when COVID, we entered into COVID, it shot up to 29%. And there was a, increase, and now we're hopeful that we will stay in this space where we are returning closer to where we were prior to COVID.
Cool. And then secondly, how specific are I see the outlines of the focused outcomes to support and all those literacy and numeracy and attendance, and I see, and I'm assuming that, all schools are expected to follow that, but are there any specific ways to track that, or is it kind of up to the school how they want to implement those things to improve their own attendance?
So we have an attendance procedure for the entire district, but there are additional interventions and supports that schools might implement. So for instance, part of our SEL response, a school can become a PBIS school and incentivize attendance that way. The way in which you motivate a high schooler versus an elementary student around attendance might look a little bit different. So they're, coupled with the procedure, celebrations, interventions, and supports that are unique to individual schools and the age appropriateness for the student.
Okay. All right, and lastly, it's just a comment. Firstly, I looked at the data, and I just know, just from experience, that I know the seniors, I think it's a certain amount of days they can miss. and like if they're here for a certain amount, they don't have to take like final exams. And I think that works really good, just that incentive, because you can see like even like the data, like I think juniors are like 2,000 kids, and then it goes back down to like 1,900 when you get to 12th grade. So that seems to be working, and even my experience of like, you know, senior friends, they're like, I can't miss school, like I don't want to take my exams. So that seems to be working, and also to just as you're creating, you know, these roadmaps, continue to prioritize, you know, social emotional learning and mental health, because it's hard. You know, it's kids, especially high school age, they're going through a lot, and we talked about, you know, kids working, athletics, and we start at 7:05. So, you know, we're probably getting in the house later than every other, you know, tier, and we're going in earlier. So just make sure, you know, prioritize that when you're thinking about the ways to combat chronic absenteeism, because when you incentivize that and also just make it a place where kids feel known and seen and loved, it makes them want to go to school, and it makes you, you know, tell your parent, even if your parent is kind of relaxed parent, like, hey, I don't want to miss school. And I feel like, you know, what parent who can get their child to school is going to say, you can't go to school? Like, if you want to go to school, you know, that helps. So I feel like just continuing to prioritize SEL and mental health and things of that nature.
Yeah, thank you for your feedback. Just a quick story. I was out at Stratford High School earlier today, and I was standing in the hallway during transition, and Chief Perry and Chief Perry was engaging with a young lady, and she asked her, would you like to meet the director of schools? And she was like, yeah, I want to meet her. And so she came over, and I introduced myself. She introduced herself. I asked her a few questions, and she politely, right nicely said to me, I have to get to class. And so we ended the conversation, and we supported her getting to class on time because she was excited to get there, and she wanted to not miss any moment of her block. And so part of that is the connections that were there. She knew the importance of her getting to class, and she definitely wanted to be present. So we'll continue to emphasize that and continue with our mantra around every student known, so that we can give our students, provide our students what they need to thrive and to be present.
All right, Dr. Nama beginning.
Thank you. I'm glad that you brought that up because it kind of hits on my topic. I appreciate the district's focus on our SEL, mental health support and things like that. One of the things that I heard over and over again from the principals at Warner and Amqui about how they were able to go from priority school to reward status was the relationships they made with students and the families that they served. They were big on building culture and climate within their schools so that we could ensure that kids wanted to be there, they wanted to learn, and that learning was a priority within their learning environment. And they felt seen and known and loved within their schools. And that is, and so for me, as we look to address the areas around chronic absenteeism and absenteeism, really taking into effect that mental health and SEL component that we really need to focus on. I know that we have seen an uptick in the amount of fights and threats and cyberbullying and different things that are happening. I appreciate the district's quick response in that, and also the recent letter that you sent out to parents regarding that and just being aware. I think with all of that, it comes back to my question of how can the board support this initiative, both within MNPS and out in the community, to really wrap around this initiative and really come together.
Yes, thank you for that question. I mean, part of the reason we wanted to provide this update today to the board was for that very reason. We've had lots of celebrations, lots of successes, but we also have to talk about the things that are not on track with where we want to be. And chronic absenteeism, it sticks out when you look at our heat map, when you look at our data. And so we wanted to elevate this conversation, going deeper than the conversation we had two weeks ago about chronic absenteeism. So that's the first thing, talking publicly about it. it, understanding that this is work that our schools are undertaking, but we understand we cannot do it alone. While September is Attendance Awareness Month, this work will continue for Metro Nashville Public Schools, and so we will be sending you updates and things that you can push out within your respective districts. We're rethinking all types of things, like whose voices are on the call-outs, and when do you have a very different personal touch to the response around attendance. And so we're pushing on all of those strategies to, again, drill down to the individual students, make those connections, build on the relationships that we have, so that we understand and can be responsive. So again, this public conversation, kind of putting our community on notice that we are attendance awareness year and years to come. We won't just focus on it for just 1 month, and then helping us call on our community leaders to plug in. So if you're in a community meeting, if you're hosting community meetings, you have partners there who want to plug in, again, we're elevating this conversation as a way for them to support the work of the district. And we'll continue to communicate and update this board around other ways to support advocacy in lots of ways with the state. State board are also helpful. For instance, the state board policy that did sunset around COVID and other ways. I don't anticipate that coming back, but we should be anticipating some of the needs and challenges that we might experience.
Thank you. And then one final question. For any community leader or community partner that wants to get involved and help, what process do they go through?
Dr. Springer.
Yes, so we have a first initial touch point in Metro Schools where we provide our partners a link to fill out if you are interested in becoming a partner. But most importantly, Pencil, our partner, is certainly our kind of go-to one-stop shop where you can get registered, you can get fingerprinting, go through the whole process to become a partner within our school. So it is Pencil.
ForSchools.org.
ForSchools.org. Thank you, Dr. Battle.
Yes, that's right. Not the number, but the word.
That's right. That's right.
Do we have a link on our website, Dr. Springer, as well?
If we don't, we will.
Thank you.
I was just going to ask you. Okay. Thank you. All right, I have a couple questions myself. On slide 11, where we've all kind of talked about the interesting data for repeaters, whether it's an increase and decrease year to year, to build upon what Dr. Gentry asked for about what have we learned from this, can we also have within that kind of report of data of in these larger blocks where we see a big jump of whether it's a decrease or increase in attendance, are there specific things that have happened? Maybe to a latest point, it's they don't want to take those end-of-year exams. Maybe there's some other type of incentive that's going on. But when we have this meeting with principals or from our own data, can we figure out why those big jumps happen? I think that would be helpful.
Absolutely. And Dr. Bellamy, Chief Perry, remind me, I think we've already identified about 12 leaders, the 12, who are coming together to have those conversations so that we have some trends district-wide, but we want to also drill down. I also just want to highlight, we have various variations of this report. We can kind of slice it however we need to get to need. Most recently, we drilled down by clusters and schools within the clusters, and the teams kind of rallied around how they wanted to support. This is a district-wide snapshot, but you can imagine kind of the hope and optimism when you break it down by clusters. These numbers, I mean, you can kind of divide them by 12 or 13. And so some manageable numbers in lots of spaces where we can really get to the chronic absenteeism. And quite frankly, they know their students so well, kind of pops right into mind what's happening, what we need to do to be responsive. So it's about empowering all of our leaders across the district to understand this data and to be responsive to it.
Okay. And then I know I think it was slide 15, there was a discussion of we were supporting students in schools and reaching out to them in advance of, I would assume that's based upon if they're repeaters. Did we do that at the beginning of the school year? We know we have already identified students that typically are truant, and so we're trying to go ahead and reach out to them to kind of be proactive, or is that only in if they start having absences, as explained in slide 14.
Dr. Springer.
So those are best practices that are outlined in our attendance toolkit that every school has available to them. We also make sure that, every year our students have attendance plans and support plans. Those plans don't necessarily end at the end of the year. So part of the transition from grade level to grade level or tier to tier is that there's a conversation about what the needs are for a specific student. And so you can imagine that those conversations are happening, as well as just making sure that we elevate the need year over year for our students, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, to me, attendance needs to be something we get a proactive, and I know it's probably all of our goal, whether that's not even the beginning of the school year, it's also beginning of their experience within our schools, whether it's the pre-K, even though it does not count technically towards us, but that good habit of it, I think, is exceptionally important. And then on slide 12, we talked about how the state accountability system heat map is affected by our attendance. I see that we have our all student status as 2.75, and then below that, we were considered advancing. And then we were very close to exemplary. How close were we? And would we have just only a
2.50. All right, so if we had moved the needle enough to obtain our lowest indicator score with chronic absenteeism, we would have been designated by the state as an exemplary school district. Okay. However, David Williams, I'm looking at you. We know that we are an exemplary school district. We already know that. We don't need the state to tell us that, but we do have a responsibility to do what is necessary to support our students. So while we know the numbers and we know the data, and we know our students represent much more than what these data points are, we're going to accomplish both things. We're going to continue to treat and help them thrive in an exemplary school district while also obtaining the state accountability behind it. But we know that about our students, and we're creating a plan to be responsive.
Awesome. I am very proud of us being an advancing district, but it is not because the state called us an advancing. It's more of, I think it's final recognition of the hard work that our staff and students have put into that. And so I believe us as absolutely being exemplary. So I want everyone to know that we are. And if we were that close to it, it pains me a bit. So I appreciate this priority being given to it. On that note, my question would also revolve around our budgetary needs to have better attendance. It sounds like from a series of conversations that we've had and discussion, both within the board and staff, that there may need to be a priority within our budget of our communities and schools and community achieves, which in the past has been a wish list item on our budget of having an expansion across all school systems. But if we're saying that we have noticed that as a data point, can we have a discussion about that within our budget as well, or other budget needs?
Yeah, we are right now in the process of kind of creating that prioritization around budget and what we need to do right now, right, and adjust wherever we need to, and what we need to be building towards in the future. So more to come in that space. We definitely didn't want to move forward without our advisory group and getting them to lean in on where we can double down with some additional investments. We are also looking at some of our procedures in-house. We've been very supportive throughout this COVID process with our revocation policy. We're working with our principals right now on what that looks like moving forward, because we do see a high number of students who are exercising the school choice process who are on this chronically absent list for one reason or another. So we are digging into that procedure as well, but we will also update this board around budget priorities to help move the needle and get our students re-engaged and connected back to their learning communities.
Okay. Oh, we have two follow-ups. All right, Mrs. Player and then Mrs. Tyler.
So to be clear, so basically, but for our attendance, we would have been exemplary according to state standards.
If we'd maintain our current level of success in the other indicators, that's correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay.
Ms. Tyler?
Just a couple of things. Our student board member asked some fabulous questions and had some great points, and it just kind of jogged my mind. So are the MTA bus passes that our students have, they work all the time? There's not a limitation around the time, so if a student were to oversleep, they could still, and could get to a bus stop, they could still
absolutely.
show up tardy?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. And then something else that she mentioned was our early school start times. I know that we have said that we're going to be revisiting looking at those again. I just wanted to kind of throw that out and let you know that that's something I'm really interested in discussing. I think for knowing that we are the earliest start time in the state, that our high schools start extremely early, and knowing all the research around sleep deprivation, especially at that adolescent age, I'm wondering how much that plays a part in our chronic absenteeism. How much does it play a part in students not being able to get up on time and then just deciding, oh, well, I already missed it, so I'm not going to go today. I'll just try again tomorrow. And I wouldn't, from what I know and what I remember from being that age, I can see that being a very big reason why we have a chunk of students who are chronically absent. So I know you said we were going to revisit that when we were moving our everything back to where they're going to be, right? And so next year, is that correct? Next year, all of fifth grade will be back in elementary?
We're 2 years, 2 school years, I'm looking at my team, 2 years away from getting fifth grade transitioned back to all of our elementary schools. What I did communicate was that after we completed that massive transformation in our district, we would continue those conversations. I will tell you, just having ongoing conversations with our students, it's a mixed review, I'm just going to be honest. And when you look at our chronically absenteeism data, if it was just happening in high school, it's not. We're seeing, and even with our students in high school, we're talking about years of chronic absenteeism. So it's not something just happening, and we see those numbers are pretty significant even in elementary and in middle school. And so we're continuing to dig into the why. Honestly, it's some of the other trade-offs for our students, again, with just kind of the demand and need to keep their families afloat in Nashville. And the kind of pursuing the high school diploma and what's happening in their work life. So again, we're still on track with our transition. As the board is aware, we were able to accelerate in some spaces, but it will take a couple more years to fully transition ourselves into that fifth grade space. And as a previous high school principal, I'm very familiar with that conversation and those trade-offs, and even in the conversations I have today, since I'm a few years removed from the principalship, it's very consistent in the mixed review around for students, right? We all have opinions about it, but when you talk to the students, it is very different. We have lots of factors we need to move on first. I mean, you talk about, our needs around transportation. You talk about, our needs around just access in general. We have some things we have to build towards in order for us to have a strong foundation there. We've had some initial conversations about some other innovation that we might be able to pursue that might get better at what we're trying to achieve than just doing a flop. And there's a trade-off, right? So it's somebody's going to be the earlier school start. Do we want it to be our youngest learners as well? So lots of things to consider. It's very complex, not something I'm going to be able to answer in my 30-second spiel. So I will stop there.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand that. I just don't want to wait and start the conversation after everything's been done. So then if we decide to change things, it's another year before we get to it. So I would love for us to kind of look at that conversation in a way that is proactive, and that way if we decide that this is a change that we want to make that is in the best interest of our students and we can handle it, that when we have everybody moved back and that transition done, that maybe we can hit the ground running with the start times changing at the same time. I don't want to drag everything out for so long, and to the point where we've got students who've been part of the conversation and will have graduated by the time we finish it. So I just want to make sure that that is on our radar. That is something we are committed to talking about. And I would love to get from you, if you could just send an email, our school list of where we are in the transition, which ones are transitioning next year and which ones in the 2 years from now, because I was unaware that it was a 2-year. I thought we were going to be done next year.
The majority will be done after next year. I think the majority might even be done now, but that last year, it will be mostly our magnet schools and just a handful of other elementary schools. But we can provide that. I can see the exact slide we shared right now in my mind. We can share that with the board, reshare with the board.
Yes, I would love to have that information. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for all of this information. Thank you for colleagues for asking your questions. I really appreciate your student question as well. Thank you, Frida, for pushing this over. So I appreciate that. So we previously adopted the agenda as listed. Now may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed?
I move approval of the consent agenda as printed.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, the approval has been first and seconded. If you're in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. It's unanimous. Okay. So then it sounds like we're on to announcements. Very exciting. We started last meeting going in district order. So Dr. Gentry, if you'll kick it off for us.
Thank you, Ms. Elrod, and thank you for an efficient meeting. You know I love an efficient meeting. Again, I just want to make some final comments about the chronic absenteeism. And Dr. Battle, we don't get to chit-chat as often as we used to. Things are rampant and crazy around here, but I do appreciate you and your team elevating this and doing this data gathering and facilitating this conversation around what is, as you've pointed out in your presentation, fundamental to student academic success, and obviously taking advantage of all the other supports that we're able to provide a student within that school/classroom experience. And so I just want to emphasize what just about every other board member here has said to our community partners. Just raise your hand, figure out how to help. But more importantly, again, when I know that a lot of these issues are outside of the control of a classroom, of a director of schools, and outside of a principal or a teacher's ability to in a meaningful way impact it and make a more significant change in that child's life and their experiences outside of the classroom, I will say again, we need the city to step up. Again, not taking away anything that our local government has done from a budgeting perspective, from a resourcing perspective, but we need more help. We need the city to flex in a way that people feel connected and engaged, because I don't think it's simply a disconnect from the school experience. I think it's a disconnect from life as it has come to be known for many of our citizens here in Nashville, Davidson County. So I'll stop there on that rant. But I do want to send a special shout out to someone whose last name I don't even know, but her first name is Latrice. And Latrice donated a washer and dryer to Churchwell Elementary School that my gentleman from my church, First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill, which has adopted Churchwell, picked up and delivered. So I want to thank her. And just keep in mind that we have schools that have those kinds of needs. So if you've got those types of items that you're looking to put on eBay, make a donation. Somebody will give you a tax receipt. I'm not quite sure who that is, but Latrice, I'm gonna get your receipt, girl. Still working on it. Those are the kinds of needs that we actually have within our communities, in our community schools and within our districts. So please consider us when those things happen. And I want to also give a shout out to Dr. Kendra Clariette at Haynes for facilitating a successful parent meeting last week for her school there, for the parents in that school, and just want to encourage all of our parents to stay aware and abreast of when those meetings happen. A lot of the questions that we get are addressed in those meetings. A lot of the things you don't know about what's happening with your child or happening in your school actually get discussed in those parent meetings. So if there's any way possible for you to attend those and get connected with your school, your child, your school's leadership and teachers in that way, please make every effort to do so. Thanks.
Thank you. District 3?
She's absent.
She's absent, isn't she?
Yeah.
My apologies. District 4.
Thank you so much. Couple of things. I will be hosting Coffee and Conversations in the McGavick Cluster in District 4 the first Tuesday of every month, starting next week, October the 4th, at 6 p.m. More information will be on my social media for how to engage and connect with the Coffee and Conversations. But it will be the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. and the location to be announced on social media. The second thing is, thank you, Dr. Gentry, again, for bringing it up. Parents, if you want to be involved and engaged within your schools, please join your school's PTOs, PTAs within your schools. Also, if you want to be involved at the district level and be able to support schools within your cluster, please sign up to join the Parent Advisory Council. If you are interested in the Parent Advisory Council, please reach out to your school principal, and they will work with you to get signed up to be a representative for your school. We are looking for at least 2 families per school to be represented on the district-wide Parent Advisory Council, and that is across every single cluster. So we have 159 schools. How many schools? 136 schools that we want represented on the Parent Advisory Council. So again, if you're interested, please reach out to your school principal. And then lastly, I'd like to thank Ms. Player for donating also a handful of clothes to McGavick High School's student-run community closet for their students within the school. And so we really appreciate that, and thank you, and it's officially been delivered to the school. But want to thank you for that effort. That'll be all.
Thank you. 5 is absent, so District 6.
Oh, thank you so much. So just a few announcements. Just as a reminder, the promotion will end soon at the new MAPCO at 3800 Murfreesboro Pike. It's the MAPCO at the corner of Hobson Pike and Murfreesboro Pike. And as a reminder, they are donating 25 cents per gallon of gas sold at the pumps that are marked, and the proceeds go to benefit the Antioch High School athletic program. So that promotion was only for 30 days, so it will end soon. So please get out and support our Antioch High School Bears. Next, a big thank you to the men of Phi Beta Sigma, their chapters, Eta Beta Sigma and Pi Eta Sigma chapters went to 2 of our District 6 schools this weekend on Saturday to build reading benches for the students. The recipients were JFK Middle School and Thurgood Marshall Middle School. And a huge thank you to Dr. Emmanuel Rowe, who organized the community event. Additionally, Stronger Than My Father mentoring program will welcome our special guest, Chief John Drake, to its inaugural Stronger Sons induction ceremony this Thursday. It will be held at Smith Springs Church of Christ, which is at 2783 Smith Springs Road. It's from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., and I will be in attendance and ready to speak to any parents who are there to have a conversation. Also, as a quick shout out for seniors, the Scarlett Foundation's scholarship opportunities are open. The applications can be submitted from between September 15th and December 15th. Students pursuing a business and STEM majors are eligible to apply, and the scholarships must be used at an accredited 4-year nonprofit college or university in the U.S. The minimum scholarship awarded is $2,500 per academic year. The maximum award amount is $30,000 per academic year. And for more information, you can go to thescarlettfoundation.org. And also, the next District 6 community meeting will be held October 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the Southeast Branch Library in the large community room. And Dr. Gentry mentioned this just a bit ago. It's really important, if you want to know what's happening in your districts, to attend these community meetings. That's your opportunity to learn more and to be heard about what's happening in your own communities. So I encourage you all to attend. Again, that's going to be October 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the Southeast Branch Library. And finally, just a quick shout out, as a reminder, next week is homecoming week. It's TSU homecoming week, so the expectation, well, we all know what the expectation is going to be. For those of you who are celebrating, I'll see you around homecoming. So proud of TSU alum here, so thank you very much.
Awesome. District 7.
And speaking of homecoming, Glencliff had their homecoming game between these two meetings, so it was a very good event to see alum come out and celebrate, I believe it was 1999's football team that was in the state championship, so that was a great event. And to build on Dr. Gentry said, as budget chair, public-private partnerships are a great thing. So money, we love resources. So if there is a private entity that would love to donate resources, financial resources to the school, I would like to make that pledge out there to help us alleviate pressures and redirect resources to other aspects. Expect this. I mean, especially that given how close we were to exemplary status, to help us put resources to do that. If you can help us alleviate it, it's a big issue. And for the community effort, for those who do not financial resources, I just remember I walked to school and remember seeing Mr. Baker and Miss Falcon, who always said, Frida, how you doing? How are your schools? If you're just someone who sits on the porch and watches kids go by and just engage them, that means a lot because it shows that it's wanted. So just to the community out there, that looks like many different ways. So it's not always financial. It's just literally saying hello and asking about their schools and just being an elder and saying, I have expectations of you to do well. And that's all I have.
All right. District 8. I'll say it's District 8. Ms. Aaron.
So I want to echo the thanks for a great conversation around chronic absence, and also for bringing something, Dr. Brattle, as you said, that we've had a bunch of recognition of successes for something that feels like it's a challenge in an area of growth, and really digging in on what can happen next and looking at this from the perspective of every single student and what every single student needs in order to get the best education they possibly can. And I was with Dr. Springer this week. The mayor's office had, I guess it was last week, an announcement about some initiatives and some ways to help engage the community more broadly in supporting our youth. And hopefully there can be some conversation there as well with all of those partners. And there were a bunch of great sort of community partners in that room about chronic absence too, as I'm sure you're already doing. So a couple of things. McDougal's, which is a business that's been around for many years, had a fire just yesterday, and the 12th, the location in Hillsborough Village is a loss. This is a J.T. Moore family, and a family that's been very generous to the community and the J.T. Moore community in particular. So if folks are interested, the 12th South Avenue location will be open, and to the extent that people can help support this community as they get their feet back on the ground after losing one of the original business, I know people would be they would be very appreciative. Congratulations to Glendale again, not only on reward school status, but being a national Blue Ribbon school is a huge, huge accomplishment. Really proud of them for doing that. Hillsborough has a play opening this weekend, Eurydice, and so tickets are on sale on the Hillsborough Players website. I will be going myself and would hope to see folks there. And a big shout out to West End, whose Twitter and other social media feeds are full of attendance matters. So West End is clearly on board and pushing to do attendance work at the school. And then lastly, I just want to say this is my second board meeting, and thank you to everyone for welcoming me, but also a big thanks to all of the staff. here in the Support Hub who have been really helpful in answering a variety of challenging questions from me over the last 2 weeks. Just really grateful for the support that I have gotten as I've entered into this, because it is about then going back and helping folks who I'm hearing things from in the schools community. And I don't know that it had been mentioned, but isn't there some sort of marching band event happening? Is someone going to talk about that?
I will do.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
I guess on that note, District 9.
So one thing that I want to highlight is our navigator system that kind of really helps with our students who might be chronically absent and who helps provide them with the things that they need and the ability to get there. I just want to shout out H.G. Hill Middle School because they received the Navigator Award at the last principal meeting, and I'm very proud of their entire team. It was a team effort, and they really have put in the time to make sure that every student at that school is known. So I'm just really proud of them. I wanted to plug the Metro Marching Band Classic. It will be at 5:30 on Saturday, October 1st at Overton. Yep.
Go Bobcats.
Yeah. Hillwood will be marching at 7:30 p.m. So I'm going to do everything I can to be there for that. I'm really looking forward to it. And then finally, we have so many people who are already partnering with us, and I just want to highlight one. Our program is called Unicycle, and it is a program where you can donate clothes for our students. Usually standard school attire is what is collected, but I know that in some instances it's more than that. So they have about 22,000 items left their warehouse last year, and that does not include the items that were donated directly to schools and distributed there. So they really do a lot of work helping our students not feel like they can't come to school because they don't have the proper attire. If you would like to support them, you can make a donation. There is a link at www.unicycleforschools.org, and you could donate money or you could donate clothes. All of our zoned schools have a donation spot for Unicycle. I know definitely all of the zone schools in District 9. I assume it's zone schools everywhere. And then also, one things that they're looking for in particular are brand new underwear, preferably kid size 14 plus and adult sizes. So that in particular is a need. So I'm just shout out to Unicycle. They're doing great work. We should help them keep it up.
Thank you. Junior board member.
You guys kind of hit on all my stuff, but yeah, marching band classic, that's what I was going to talk about. But go support students. I think it's really important for the community and for parents and for staff to show students that they care and they support their extracurriculars. Also, ACT for seniors is on the 4th of October, I think. So also make sure you are checking on your seniors and encouraging them, and making sure that they are getting well prepared for that. Thank you.
Senior board member.
I only have a couple of announcements. The first is that the FAFSA portal application process does open on Saturday for all seniors. It's just very important to get that federal aid. It helps a lot with college, and college is obviously very expensive. I also want to congratulate the National Merit Scholarship semifinalists throughout the district. I think it's very important to congratulate them and highlight what they've done to achieve this from their PSAT scores. And then other than that, we're approaching the last month, October, before early decision or early action applications for college have to be turned in. So just a reminder to seniors that if they do want to meet that early deadline, they should be having those conversations with their teachers and counselors for letter recommendations. And then other than that, just good luck to all seniors, including me, for the ACT on Tuesday.
Awesome. Yes, of course, the Marching Band Classic is going to be hosted at John Overton, District 2's pride and joy. Go Bobcats. And it'll be Saturday at 5:30. I will, of course, be there. This week is also homecoming at Overton, and this week was the Overton PAC meeting as well. So to Berthina's comment, if you have an interest in being involved in our schools, not just inside your PTO, PTA, but inside your entire cluster. And it's a proactive ask where you really are involved within district needs and growing your cluster and following your student as they go from elementary to upper grades. The Parent Advisory Council is really a great place to plug in, and so I encourage you to do so. Outside of that, please keep in mind, both members and people that are watching, we do not have our board meeting the first meeting of October because of fall break, so please don't show up here. I will not be here. And for my colleagues, some upcoming due dates or requested due dates is, if you have retreat topics that you want us to cover, we're talking about upcoming dates and trying to figure out what those dates might possibly be for the support hub first, and then we'll reach out to individual members. But if you can get to us what topics or things you would like to have covered in retreats, ideally what you want first, and then maybe in the future, please get that to me by Friday. And of course, you can copy Frida on that. Friday, the 14th, are the preferred dates for committee meetings through 2023 for all committee chairs, if you'll get that to us. And lastly, as mentioned by a lot of my colleagues, our schools are often the triage for communities, and we commonly have to take care of the issues that are inside of our communities, be that access to affordable homes or housing, transportation, medical care, all of those things. So I'm happy this week that there was an announced agenda for Nashville's young people. I hope that within that there is some focus within our city as well on not just the funding that we need as a school, which we are so grateful for. We appreciate those historic investments, but the other things that have to be done for, again, Nashville to be the city for our families. And we, of course, support what that would be as much as we can. So we hope to work with you in that partnership and make sure that we can help our students and also the young children of Nashville as they become our students to start those healthy processes to make sure that they're as advanced as they can before they enter our doors. With no other business being done, our meeting is adjourned. Thanks.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.